I wonder for you, Don, what are your thoughts on just Memphis in general right now? Because I believe it was Stephen A. Smith who came out and said that there's players who don't want to get drafted to the Grizzlies because of maybe some of the negative connotations about Memphis. It feels like, like I said, on the hip hop side, Memphis has had such a huge.
Stephen A. Smith is.
He was in paid in full.
He's allowed
tried to rob.
He definitely can't be in paid in full. Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith from ESPN.
Okay.
So they're talking about the NBA draft, and he was saying how certain players don't want to go to the Grizzlies because of how dangerous Memphis is.
I think I heard something about that.
But I wonder for you, man. Like, obviously, Memphis became like when we were coming up, it was like Atlanta, New York, LA, and then the rest of the country. But now Memphis is one of those cities. As an OG from Memphis, like, what is your kind of perspective of where Memphis hip hop is and just like the city in general?
Well, as far as music, I think Memphis has come a long way. I think we still got some ways to go. A lot of Memphis artists aspire to have the kind of what's the word they always use? Unity. They have the same kind of unity that they have in Atlanta. And I think part of why we don't really have the unity they have in Atlanta is because in Atlanta, when artists don't really, at least when I was coming up, when artists didn't get along in Atlanta's the only people that knew it. We never knew.
There wasn't like YouTube documentaries and
right.
Crazy
it got a little tricky when they had like real thick beef.
Right.
Like we just about knew everybody Gucci Mane was beefing with.
Right.
But,
of course, yeah.
But past that, the people that just didn't get along, we didn't hear about it. We didn't know about it. And in some cases, they will have like a mutual friend or something, so they end up on the same records even though they don't rock with each other. And in Memphis, it's a little different. And it's like, I would like to say it's just kind of the same way everywhere with the gang culture. We grew up, it was designated sets. It was like, it was Bloods, it was Crips, Vice Lords, and GDs. And now they got like hybrid gangs. So the hybrid gang might have all of those, Blood, Crip, and GD. And when certain people in that gang stop getting along, they branch out and spawn a new hybrid gang. Mm-hmm. And before you know it, the city's filled with hybrid gangs. And now, with music, now everybody's record label is really the name of the gang.
We've seen it over and over with the way the Ricos are working out and the speculated Ricos that are coming.
But see, I think that's part of why musically the unity is not present. I think, like I said, I think we got some ways to go before we get to that space. I don't really have a stake in any of that. I always, I never really been into being in other people's business.
Right.
And for me, I think the respect that I do receive from Memphis artists, old and young, is at a level where they understand that whatever they got going on don't got nothing to do with me. I ain't picking no side of nothing that didn't involve me. As far as Memphis as a whole or as a culture, like for what you just say his name.
Stephen A. Smith, when he was saying that certain players wouldn't sign there or don't want to be drafted there because of the perception of how dangerous it is.
I don't think
it was dangerous.
I don't think that play a factor. I think it's dangerous everywhere.
Fair.
I mean, that just is what it is. Same way, you got crime in Memphis, you got it everywhere.
You got it in LA, you got it in the Bay, you got it in Nashville, you got it in Vegas,
right.
You got it in Florida.
It's people getting killed in Nebraska. So
shout out to Omaha.
I think that was I think that might have been an ignorant statement to make.
Probably.
I don't think that
he got a lot of hell for it.
Okay, well, he deserved it if that was the statement. Because I mean, again, you got some fucked up places in America.
For sure.
Gary,
Indiana exists.
Michael Jordan played for Chicago.
Right. Right.
I mean, Chicago ain't, they ain't fucking, it ain't, what is that, Mayberry.
For sure.
So I don't know.
They had crime in Mayberry, so Barney Fife had a job.
Yeah, he ain't
It's
had no
funny.
gun.
It's funny you said that.
Yeah,
When you said that
Bootleg.
earlier about the Atlanta guys being on, I think back to the. You remember the Young Buck song "Stomp"?
Yeah, we was talking about that earlier.
And then
today.
Luda and T.I.
On the
went
same record.
On the same record, and then the album version came out, and they replaced. I forget who got replaced, but the game. I think they replaced T.I. with the game.
T.I.
Yeah.
I was in the studio when Buck got the Ludacris verse. I was actually there when he first heard the.
What was
He
his
was
reaction?
part of the
Please stay
problem.
off the T.I.
that
P of
back.
my dick.
I heard the T.I. verse in the studio, and I'm telling the story wrong. I heard the T.I. verse with Young Buck in the studio like before I ever dropped the project.
Yeah.
And I was in a club with a bunch of the BMF guys in 2004. I was at an after hours club in Atlanta. I think Atrium was the name of it. I was Jeezy flew me to Atlanta trying to sign me to CT at the time, and I'm in after hours third club we went to that night, and the DJ played the Ludacris verse in the club, and one of the BMF guys I want to say gave him like $1,000 for the CD because this was not you weren't sending
There's no
files.
internet, no yeah.
Right. But they played it a bunch of times. And I remember I had heard the T.I. verse. It was unreleased. I had heard that maybe 6 months prior. And I knew he kind of dissed Ludacris on there. And I played this in a club, like I said, 4 a.m. And I was like, man, that's some messy shit right there. You got two people on the same song dissing each other. But like you said, it came out differently than that.
Yeah.
But they should have put that out because it was out on the mixtape scene for so long. And then when the album came out, you're like, come on.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
it was like the southern not to the same extent, but like the southern version of 4321.
Right. Yeah, the Cannabis LL shit.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
fair. Hey, we got to wrap up this interview. Another one presented by Hardin, baby. You already know what it is. Shout out to Hardin for presenting another episode of the Bootleg Hip Podcast. Don't forget, when you're in Vegas, you get in that taxi, you get in that Uber, say, take me to Hardin, the #1 cannabis dispensary in the world. Premium selection of the craziest gas you could ever ask for. And then they break down what all the terps mean. It's incredible. Go to Hardin_Las Vegas, shoot them a follow. And when you're in Las Vegas, make sure you shoot them a visit. Hey, want to give a shout out to our newest sponsor. You know, I don't like to vape unless it is pure solventless rosin. Want to give a shout out to RokinCannabis.com. Go give them a follow. It's nothing but that good gas. Check them out at your local dispensary, RokinCannabis.com. Salute to them. Let's get back to the interview. What about you, Starlito? Because I feel like Nashville's kind of been a city that's always had like an interesting, there's been successful artists out of Nashville yourself. We mentioned Young Buck. I'm glad you guys squashed your issues too. But
For sure.
then there's like a guy like Jelly Roll who and Struggle, and there's kind of like the kind of that white boy like side of the Nashville hip hop scene that was Haystack was from Nashville. You know what I'm saying? But for you, like Nashville is very much like country's like so big right now. And so as a city, like Nashville's probably bigger than it's ever been in terms of like people coming there, writers coming there for obviously that genre. But on the hip hop side, where do you kind of see Nashville right now? And is there any up and coming artists that you think are dope that maybe have a chance to?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. There's several. I think we're right at on the cusp of blossoming and creating more of a presence overall, hopefully in the hip hop space. I mean, obviously that's where my roots are.
Right.
Like you said, the scale of music business in Nashville is, I hope all my peers and comrades that are working just keep working, because I think genres are starting to overlap more than anything.
For
the
sure.
Shabuzi record is a rap record reworked in the country.
He reworked Tipsy,
The Tipsy
Jaquan.
song,
Oh, what you just said?
his name's Shabuzi, the artist.
By the way, this is the #1 most successful Billboard song ever.
Yeah.
It's spelled more weeks at #1 than any song ever.
And it's a
His
rap.
name is Shabuzi.
Yes.
It's a rap song.
how
He's
disconnected
aloof.
he is.
That's he's completely.
No, I heard the country version of Tipsy. I just didn't know what
That's
his name was.
Shabuzi, yeah.
And
Shabuzi.
to see a rap song being reworked and reformatted for country and having that kind of success, I think is very much an indicator of how close music is music. And so like I said to my
Is he
peers,
from Nashville?
I
don't believe
know.
so.
I don't
think
think so.
I think he's from Virginia.
Yeah, I don't think he's from Nashville, but
Okay. I ain't mean to cut you off for
No,
that.
But he's been in Nashville for a while. But anyway.
and
Oh, he lives in. Okay, he was making
you
music
know,
in Nashville.
country music is the lifeline of music business in Nashville.
Right.
Like people come there to establish themselves in that genre. I think we got some rich history as far as rap goes. You mentioned some of there's the Quanti Cash, Pistol, Cool Daddy Fresh, artists that early on for me, even before I was rapping, that I saw have presence, get to surface level. And even now there's a ton of artists that I feel like are right there. It's Tim Gent. I think he's promising, got a lot of talent from the area. The producer Band Play as multi-platinum producer and all over the place. We're working on an album together to tell a different story in Nashville musically, and the intent is to have some of that mashup and overlap from genres because we're peers, we're neighbors. I mean, for a long time, I just started like really getting my foot in the door on Music Row. Is where a lot of the studios
you got
in
a
Nashville.
pen, man. Like you could go in there and jump in any of those writer rooms, and
I've been doing it recently, and I challenge those around me. I see some of my peers, some of my buddies, like Lil Vac, Sweet Poison. These are some Nashville-based artists that I feel like are doing the footwork and trying to rap hustle, which is something that I champion and admire. Like I said, I mean, there's too many to name.
Right.
But got Big Top and Trapper Mandel. They're both artists on my label, Grind Hard, that are right there. And I just think, like I said, you just got to put the work in or figure out how to make yourself stand out amongst what's going on, globally or everywhere. But I think with Nashville is like the fastest growing city. It's been the fastest growing city in America.
No state tax. Shout out to Tennessee. Y'all got the tax shit figured out there.
Yeah, it's rough out here.
It's fucked out here.
But
it's a different world.
Yes, I mean, like I said, it's we're right there. Yeah. And on the cusp of emerging and breaking through. There has been you mentioned some of the artists and it's like a cultural divide. I just think we just gotta rise above all those like labels and stigmata and just do the work.